about this new mode I got that I found, and I've been dragging my feet. And
It's
so
slacker.
T.O. is going to bring it on Nuggets tonight, and I'm going to join along to pick up the slack.
And then if you guys want the abridged version, sometime, what are you thinking? Like 2 days? How much time you need, Joe?
Yeah, something like that would be fine.
Yeah, sometime in like 2 days, you'll get the abridged version on Joe Brett's channel. And he promises he's not just going to take edits from this one and rearrange them. He's going to make his own video.
Gonna stream the whole video.
Well, I may need a couple more weeks then.
There's a precedence for that.
All right. Yep. T.O. and the Nugget Show beat me to bringing you this new development for HF digital modes. This is called FreeDATA. You have FreeDV, you got Vera, HF Chat. This is kind of within the same lines as that. You can text message, you can send files back and forth. And if you want to see the Nugget Show where we went for, I think, about 2 hours or more, we spent a while setting it up with each other's computers and making contacts with each other or members of the chat, and had a lot of fun doing it. If you want to watch that, links in the description. Links to everything will be in the description that I'll go over today. Let's show you in just a few minutes how to download and get this thing started on your computer. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go over to freedata.app. When you get to freedata.app, you'll see the home page here, and it is very simple and short. It gives you some animation of what the program looks like when it's running. It is multi-platform, so you can use this on Linux and Mac and Pi, so on. We're using it on Windows. So what you want to do is click over to the wiki, and this has got everything you're going to want to know and things that you didn't. All your information's here. It's got your home, introduction, and we're interested in installation. Since we're on Windows, that's where we're going to go. Step 1, install FreeDATA. So you'll go and click on the link. I'm going to open a new tab, and it takes you to the GitHub page. This is where they'll list their latest and newest releases. You'll scroll down under assets. If you don't see anything, make sure you click on it to drop down, and you want to look for your corresponding file for your operating system. Since I am on Windows, I will be looking for the .exe file. I'll download that, which I have already done. And then we'll go to step 2, install hamlib. If you haven't got that already, you're going to want to click on that, open that window up. Same thing, GitHub, go down to assets, and then you can look for your correlating file extension. Again, I'm on Windows, so I will download 64-bit is what I'm on. If you're on a 32-bit machine, you can use Windows 32. Download that, and we're ready to go to the next setup guide. And it is here. This setup guide will cover all of the operating systems. We're going to choose our audio devices, and we'll bring FreeDATA application up here. This is the program, and this is where it starts up at currently in the current development. My audio device, microphone. I connected mine directly to the sound card of the ICOM 7300, which I am using. As you can see, I have many choices because of the audio setup that I use. I have many virtual devices and software devices. And for monitoring the audio coming from the radio, I just chose the microphone USB audio codec, which is standard for the 7300. Your radio will and probably be different. Now for audio coming from the computer back out to the radio to send out over the air, this is going to be your output device. Mine is set up for voice meter. You may be able to just select your speaker USB audio for your rig. But the way I have my audio set up, I have to go through my software mixer. So I picked the voice meter. That's what works. This is where you can do some trial and error. If you find something that does not work, select some more stuff, try something else. And we'll get to how you can tell if that's working or not here in a little bit. Next thing you want to do is go over to my station, fill out your call sign, and I would just leave this as 0. It's 0 through 15, kind of like APRS. You got your SSID. Currently, I see everybody just using 0. And then you want to do your grid square locator. This is going to be used for mapping and maybe some other stuff. You got your audio call sign locator put in. The next thing you're going to need to do is to find the path to rigcontrol.exe. Now, mine, you see here in this block, this is the exact location that mine was installed in as well. You're going to leave the port number alone unless you have some type of special need to change that. The default will be just fine. Go over to the program and we'll see where this is at. It's not on this screen. You'll have to go to the hamburger menu at the top right and click on settings. Under settings, you'll go to hamlib, and this is where you would enter your rig control path. Now, be sure that you pick the rig control that has LD in it. There's one that's just plain rig control without the LD. So make sure you pick this one that's got the LD on it. To select that, you just click inside of this box and it will bring up your file explorer, and then you can cruise on over to where you could find that file. Mine's programs, files 86. There's my hamlib, win32. Go to bin, and then I'll scroll down. You'll see this is just CTL. You want CTLD. This is the one right here that you want. You just click on that, hit select file, and it will fill it in right there for you. Next thing we'll do is radio model. Now, I said I was using a 7300, not a 3073, right? So this is just the model number that's built into hamlib. So you'll go into this and you'll type in, as you see, I can just type in a number. As you type in numbers, you're going to come up with all these different radio models. So what you're going to do is type in your model number to your radio. So I type in 7300, there it is, and the hamlib code is 3073. Just click on the radio and it fills it in. Next thing I'll need to do is select my device port to my radio. What the port is my USB to my radio on. Well, mine is defaulted to COM3. The Silicon Labs bridge is the ICOM 7300. Yours may be different. Serial speed, data bits and stop bits, that's pretty normal for setups in digital modes and with a computer to the radio. Ignore a handshake. Push to talk device port. This is also on my 7300, is also COM3. And push to talk type is USB. You have several different choices. If one doesn't work for you, try the other. You see, I have several COM ports depending on what radio and what kind of software I'm using. Some of those are just virtual COM ports, as you see, COM 0 COM. All right. Next thing, we've done all this already. We've done the push to talk. Now we'll go to settings, TNC, let's see. Yep, TNC tab. I enjoy the waterfall. When I first installed this, default was turned off. So I enabled the waterfall and I enabled the scatter diagram. And I also enabled respond to a CQ as QRV. This is an acknowledgement. If you hear any other station, or if your program hears any other station and decodes that information, it will automatically send a QRV back to that station saying that you heard them. And you know then that it's possible that y'all can make a contact, send some text messages back and forth over the radio. Now we get into starting the TNC. So you get all these settings set up and you got your rig control path correct. You'll notice right here, unknown or stopped. All right, so it doesn't know if it's going to work or not. You hit the start button and it will change if successful. If successful, it does connection possible. This means that it recognized the path and it is possible for you to make a connection between the program and your radio. The next thing you want to do is push to talk test. Now, turn my radio on. It is currently grayed out with no color. As you can see, you click the button, it will test. If it turns green, you're good. If it turns red or yellow, something didn't work right. We'll click it one time and we got the push to talk, the transmit activated on the radio, and we have a green button. We are good to go to click start TNC. Click that one time, your screen will change to the operating portion of the program. Now, since I enabled the waterfall, you can see over here, there's my waterfall. You're busy over here. If it's green, you're good to transmit. You're good to receive signals. If it picks up any other data or even CW signals, this will turn red and will not allow a transmit except for certain intervals to keep from interfering. First thing we want to do is check our ALC level doing a digital mode. So you'll go up here to your tune button, click on tune, and it's going to give you a red transmit button. Now I think this defaults to 100 or 150 when you first bring it up, and you see I had to bring mine down to 73. Click this button one time and it's going to give you a 5-second data burst. That gives you enough time to look at your meters, see what it's doing, and make adjustments. You'll probably have to click it again, but you know, the trick, the word is on the 7300, you want it to just tickle the ALC a little bit. So we'll confirm that. Just tickle the ALC. So we're good to go with that. It's good settings. So what do we do now? Well, start beaconing your information. So I do every 10 seconds is what I have my beacon set to. Go up here to settings, and this is where you can change your interval for your beacon. You can go all the way from 5 to 60 minutes. As of right now, there's not a whole lot of users on. This is new development again. So 5 or 10 seconds, whatever you want to do, is quite okay at this time. If more users and popularity grows, it's probably possible that we're going to need to beacon less often in a bigger interval. Now, I'll point out up here, you see, please restart the TNC after changing settings. If you change anything in here, you're going to want to click stop the TNC. It's going to ask you if you're sure, and it's going to go back to the original screen. And then all you do is click start and go right back into it, and that will set the new settings that you chose. So we're going to toggle a beacon. Let's turn some audio on so you can hear what it's doing. Now we're sending out a beacon, and what we can do, you see down here at the bottom, it shows my frequency, 7.053, which is currently a suggested frequency. It's got packet and USB mode, upper sideband, and the baud rate here, which is not able to be changed at the moment. Got some other status lights. This is green when receiving. You'll notice it turns red when it transmits. Your TNC information, you've got a session open with another user, data channel open with another user, and your rig control state. Helpful information there. So how do you know where and who might be on? So when you do a beacon and you got your grid square set, like you should have done in the settings, you can click up here at your hamburger menu and go to Explore Map. That's going to bring up a map. It's going to show your location, and it'll show the location of other users that has beacon. You see his is a yellow or an orange, so that's over an hour old. It shows that he was last on 28150. Here's another user that is on the 7053. Zoom out a little more, scroll down. He is currently being heard and beaconing on the network, not by me. Then you see here's some users and some of the developers, I'm sure, that's over here playing around with it. But this is how new this program is, guys and gals. There's not a whole lot there yet, but you get to watch this thing grow. And as popular as Vera, Chad, or whatever how you say it, as popular as that is, I believe this has a great opportunity to be just as popular because it's free. So we're toggling the beacon. We're sending a beacon. We're going to toggle it back off. I'm going to show you, here's a CQ. Shows transmitting CQ. If any other station picked that up, then I would have got a response back. Ping. So if I see a station, go back to the Explorer window, click on this guy, N1QM0 or -0. I'm going to copy that, go back into the program, paste it into that, and then I'm going to hit ping. If that station would have heard my signal, it would have sent back an acknowledgement, and I would have known that I could possibly make a contact with him and send him some data. So that's about it. I'm going to show you some video of actually making some contacts, exchanging some messages and stuff, and we'll wrap this thing up. Check this out. And I'll start a message with N1QM. I received a message for him. I type one back, hit the enter button. And at the top right, it says opening data channel with N1QM. opens up that data channel and sends it back. And you see I'm at 100%. I get one check mark for sent, another check mark for read. Means he's read it. He sends me one back on the fly, and I get his message, and at the top right it says all data received. That means he's not sending any more packets. All right, there's your little preview of how to get FreeDATA up and going on your system and try to make some contacts. It's a slow go right now, but this is early infant stage of this development, and it's fun to watch it grow. If you got any questions, any comments, leave them down there in the comments for us. We'll discuss them. Give me a like and join our Discord. Come hang out with us in there. There's a list of other Discords in there as well that you can join. I thank you for coming by. Check out this video over here in 73.